Alright, so in this one, we are going to be reacting to Vergils' top 10 best units in Dragon Ball Legends 7th Anniversary Edition. The only reason because I put this little funny thing. I didn't think it would get any traction, but I put a comment, or rather someone else put a comment, and I just pinned it because I was like, alright, let's see what happens with it. If they said react to the video of his tier list, and I said if it gets, it's going to be somewhere on screen, 222 likes, and it did. And so here we are, and so that's what we're doing. So let's do it. What's going on here?
It's Virgil, and in this one, we're going to be doing my updated top 10 best units tier list here on Dragon Ball Legends for the 7th anniversary part 1. We just got a new transforming Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, transforming Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta, the 1% sparking tag switch Kalen shifts. We got the strongest units in the game, Cell, just seeing how much damage he takes from my stay with Legends content. Without further, really is so many interchangeables. Daima is still the best synergistic team in the game. Damage multipliers, stars as well.
I just want to see the 10-9 slot.
I prefer to see a really locked testings. Number 10 is going to be tied. It's going to be tied. Something like this. Oh, 10 and 9. I just realized I have 10 and 9 here. So it's between these three characters. We do have Ultra, Cell.
Wasn't Cell lower on the last list, Garesh's list, than this? Cell's this slow still, bro. Man, I just woke up to I see Cell number 9 already. 10. Jeez. Okay. Alright, let me just hear this out, obviously.
Just being a red unit, he just takes too much
shocking.
damage.
Also, before we hear this out, I just used, literally the last video before this, is I used Daima, right? Just see how it does, because you're not running into it too much, because new units, and, you know, that new unit fatigue will eventually catch up to people, and they'll start running Daima again more often, but the point being, I used Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Ku, and Daima 4, you know, the typical trio that you would run against in Daima, for the most part, and I definitely slandered Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, comparing him to Evo. Right now, I would still have Goku as the best green, but then I would have Super Saiyan Vegeta tied with Miniku at like a 7-8 slot. So Evo would not even be my top 10, as well as that, it would be Kale Khalifa instead of Evo in top 10. Just to write my tier list that I kind of can now adjust after using more teams. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, I definitely did underrate, and quite frankly, if he was 14 stars for me, or at least, you know, higher than 7, because he's only 7 stars, to be fair, my Daima 4 was 4 stars, or 6 stars, and he's still number 1 for me, arguably, but if I have Vegeta higher stars, I probably would say he's above Miniku, but since I have him where I have him, I can't test a 14 star without having a 14 star, so I'll keep him tied with Miniku. I do think there is a realistic thing that you could say he's above Miniku if they're even 14-14, but I'm going to be realistic with you. A 14-star Miniku is 50 million times easier than a 14-star Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and even then, God Goku is still above even those two there. So, more respect to Super Saiyan Vegeta from me. This list obviously has him lower than I would have him right now, but initially, I would have had him in the same spot as he is here. So, now we continue. Let me see.
Out of that,
Cell. That's all I care about.
He
These two are
as
fine.
many teams to kind of either protect him or complement him as much as the rest of the cast here on the list. So there's just so many Saiyans, so many Sun family units, and he is just on what? You know, a forced blast base.
To compare that, by the way, to the team thing, I mean, I understand the argument, trust me. It's the reason Cell's not higher for me, even though he is in a top 5 threshold for me. There also is that same argument, funny enough, for Evo. Like, you can say Evo has an okay team with MVP and Kaba, but Kaba's not top 10. MVP's not top 10. And if Evo is top 10, he's scraping the bottom of the barrel. So if that argument can be used against Cell, though Cell has an infinitely better and easier time in life, just due to how good he is, and Evo is much worse than Cell individually, would it make more sense that Cell goes higher? Because I see Evo here, I'm going to assume Evo is going to be higher than Cell, which obviously in my mind is blasphemous, but if we're comparing team to team, Cell has the leader slot just like Evo, and then if I were to use Evo's best, which is him double Zenkai buff with MVP and Kaba, it obviously changed with Rev UI, but that's not out yet, the current time of this video. The point being that Cell to Evo, if Evo's going to be higher than Cell, well, the individuality is what matters at that point, because both their teams are not ideal, and Cell individually is better than Evo, so why would Evo be higher? And Cell's better color than Evo. Yes, Cell is red. there's blues, but Evo is purple against a snipe yellow, 2 snipe yellows, Majin Buu paralyzed demon, and a pseudo-lock tag unit. Evo is a much worse color than Cell right now, because how oppressive those yellows can be. The blues are, yes, MUI, but Diamond Forku's not that oppressive comparably, and who's the other blue? It's just those two. So, Cell should be much higher than the likes of Evo, and I hope he doesn't make this list, but I'm going to assume Evo does make this list, which, again, draws back to this point. Cell has a team issue, agreed, but the team issue with Cell is also a team issue with Evo, because his teams are not ideal either. So then you go individual, Cell's winning the individual race. There's no debate who's better individually, Cell or Evo. Come, let's be real here.
Because he's a range type character. Any of his tags, where I don't see one powerful opponent up here. I mean, MVP is a great complementer for him. It's always been one of his best partners. But missing a third, and just in general, there's not too much variety to go around from him. You could argue Evo, Vegeta, this combination right here should be very powerful, whether you're running androids, whether you're running reverse rep, and you can slap one of the...
I'll point out 2 things here. Again, I'm going to defend Cell, because I think Cell deserves more praise. 2 things. That trio is just Cell carrying them. I used it. It was my first fucking team I used with Evo, Vegeta, and Cell carried. No shit, Sherlock, right? Again, individually, he's better. But 2, with Cell, like, you could say just with MVP is fine, but there's also units that you probably don't think about that have even stats. People don't really like to try diversify because they kind of just stick to what they know. That's fine, but if you were to look at the stats and how the game works, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta has even stats. UMV has even stats, and God Goku has basically even stats as well. Beast Gohan, to a degree, does as well. So that's 4 different units I just named that have even stats, and if you were to, let's say, hypothetically throw any of those on leader slot, double Zenk buff your Cell, have MVP there as well, you're not losing anything. If I leader slot God Goku, who has, again, even stats on a team with Cell, I don't lose anything. Matter of fact, it's just easier for me. I get a free AoE green card character. At 17 he does the blue, he makes the green. Can work for God Goku, UMV, same vibe there. If they have even stats, you can just leader them instead of leadering Cell. I don't think people ever try this. I've done it. I do it a lot of times. I put UMV on blast teams. I put Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta on blast teams. They do the same job they were supposed to do because their stats are even and they're not subjugated to one thing or another. Evo, you can't do that. He has very high blast stat. MUI, you can't do that. There's other units that you can't do that specific thing for. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you can't do that. But Cell, with his teams, you just put the even stat characters and boom. It's much more fixable than it is for Evo Vegeta because, again, individually, Cell is better.
On leader, that can be very good. And his just general kit is super strong still. So, in nullifying endurance for existing, the anti-blast armor cards, blast armor. He has a nuclear ultimate. You just rush at any given moment for a majority of the characters in the game. So, I think he is fantastic still. There's a lot of yellows to go around. But with the strongest units in the game being blue, I just think his survivability rate is a lot lower.
Again, like look at their stats. They're even, man.
On too many teams.
Matter of fact, God Goku's blue card hits like kind of mid on a strike team.
A great option.
Put him on a blast team with his even stats, with his double pyricopes that he has.
It's a team game.
Watch how that hits. Just saying.
Oh, there's too many factors against him right now. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta still on the best team in the game, or one of the best teams, with being Daima. I think Daima has the best glue type. All these units support each other and complement each other the best in the game still. So if you have Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, you have Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
So yes, Daima is the best team in the game. Okay.
Still one of the best standard teams. And obviously in Proud, they have a full dynamic there. This guy can be Zenkai buffed by the mini
Ain't nobody playing Proud.
Goku.
I don't know what
damn person plays Proud. Got a lot of factors as well from Saiyans, not Family. Saiyans, that's pretty much it. If you want to run him on a Saiyans comp, Vegeta clan comp, he's got some other dynamics. I do think he needs to be a little bit juiced, so Ku support is almost warranted. He's green. It also counts as the best color in the game, which is blue. And that's pretty much it. He's got a couple of other quirks.
Is blue the best color in the game? I feel like that's a good question to ask. Diamond 4 Ku, MUI, top 3 units, right? Let's just say that, just baseline. UMV, Beast, and Ku. The thing is with... if I'm looking at commonality here, there's not a common character that's going to beat yellows. Like, yes, obviously Cell exists. but he's not common. That's not a unit you're fighting often, just because of obviously why he's down here. To a degree, his teams. So if I'm looking at that, I mean, there's a lot of greens. God Goku could just make short work of MUI. If God Goku's facing a Daima 4 who has last man, God Goku's always winning it. Super Saiyan 3 can make short work of MUI. Super Saiyan Vegeta could do pretty well. Kid Ku can do pretty well. Mini Ku, rather. Count Caulifla. I don't know if blue's most dominant color. I don't think yellow's far above it, but I do think yellow is above it. You know, again, because the commonality of cells is not there, but the commonality of God Goku, Mini Ku, and, you know, whoever else these green units are is definitely higher than the commonality of Cell, because that's one red. And Kaba is not enough, you know, in my mind to think like, oh yeah, this is going to be way too devious and I'm so scared of all my yellows. Now it's fucking Kaba, bro. He's not good enough. But, well, he's good for 1%, but you know, he's not good enough to make a dent in the yellow spectrum of meta. Yeah, I would say yellow. I don't think it's blue.
Advantage removal. He's got
not nitpicking. I'm trying to figure out myself.
Pretty superb, you know, combo potential as well, like some really good burst damage. And that's really much. So he's nothing special. And I do think he's competing with a lot of these late game greens. The Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it could be interchangeable in his back end as well. So that's just how it is.
3 is like a mid.
Specifically, I think they're great. I was actually sleeping on them. I haven't used them too much. And I'm glad I did, because I have to mention them in this 10-9 area, because they are really good with the new MUI Goku. So these guys, they're Saiyan's characters, so they can receive a couple of different Zenkai buffers, whether that's like the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, can be ran alongside Majin Vegeta, MUI Goku. So this combination right here is very powerful. The tag switch, the disrupt, the healing.
I think I'd rather like Beast on that combo. Just
Goku
because the extra
back
safety from Beast cancel buff effect.
More viable, obviously. Like Universe Rep in itself has a lot of great options right now. Green,
you know
kind of
how
covering
go, right?
Advantage towards the Goku. Yellow, kind of advantage towards this Super Saiyan Blue evolved Vegeta. So, you know, you can actually utilize
that's
them
interesting.
quite
Let me
one thing.
get forward here to the next tiers.
No, it was this. I'm sorry. You guys are probably thinking, what the...
That is very low for Majin Buu. Again, I just ran Daima, so I am, you know, up to date with my thoughts on it. You know, whether it be from a couple weeks ago when I last ran it, or ran into it last week. Not really much this past week, because again, new units and that fatigue, like I said, will start kicking in. People will start using their better teams of Daima once, you know, they get over these new unit hypes. But Ku, I mean, Beast, I'm with you. I'm there. I actually just fully agree with that. I do rather when tier lists, by the way, are like, most of the tiers are like, here's number 1, then here's number 2, then here's number 3. I like when they're not shared. I think it's just more solid, I guess you could say. Like, I don't know, that's just the me thing. I just like when tiers are like, mostly, because you're not always going to be able to have this. I don't think you can always put just a number 1 unit in the game. I don't think it always exists. And this tier list, I don't think it exists either, because this current meta. But like the 4, 5, 6, 7s, all individual, like one character, not, you know, swappable. I just find those more concrete, like more, you could probably defend the point more. But here, and I say that because Majin Buu here, I mean, if we're stating Daima's still the best team in the game, which I believe everybody is, I believe he even stated here. He said one of, which makes me think he doesn't think it's the grand best, but one of, which I think it is still the actual grand best. This is probably downplay on Ku at this rate, more so than anything else. I'll hear it out, but obviously, when my first impression strikes this, it is, to me, it is downplay. And before anyone says Q, we live in the same goddamn state, me and this man. So this is no Q diff, I promise you. This can't be a Q diff. This can't be. So a list being so varying is going to be up to what their thoughts are, not because their Q is XYZ compared to my XYZ. It wouldn't make sense.
So 10, 9, 8, 7. I think it's
that's 11
this.
units.
I think Beast
like
Gohan at 7, and I have Majin Buu at 8. So Majin Buu, Beast Gohan,
Great.
People are probably having different takes right now. Majin Buu, I'm not even...
Beast, I'm chilling.
I don't think there's anything wrong with this character. He's one of the best. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's the highest 1% character I have on this list. Obviously, there's a lot to go on with him. He has one of the best teams in the game, and that's pretty much it. So he's on one team. which is why I kind of bumped him down. He used to be like a top 3 character on my
Wait. He was always on one. Okay. There's technicality to Majin Buu where his actual, like, gimmicks, you just need one Daima outline. So if you were to run, Majin Buu, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and then a better unit than Daima 4 Ku drops, and it's more safety, and it's just a better generalized unit, like an Ultra, you can do that, and you still get his gimmicks. So one team technically is wrong, but even more than that, like, who cares about that, right? It's just a talking point. The more point to it is that's been the case. And unless the implication here is that MUI's teams are so top-notch that they're competing with Daima, I mean, sure, competing is the word. I'll put the word competing in quotation marks at that point. But Ku has always been on just one team. I mean, the team of Daima has the perfectness. There's literally no flaw to the Daima team. You only have to say tanking's a flaw. Like, let's say you run Vegeta, Goku, and Ku. You'll say that team is less durable than, let's say, Do instead of Vegeta, right? Sure, but it doesn't matter. You have the infinite healing, you have the infinite sub-counts down, you have the infinite seal their mains, you have the infinite card cost upping, you have the infinite big disrupts, you have the infinite Dragon Ball disruption, you have all these infinite things, and it's just like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day if you're not tanking as well, because you're just healing so much, and they can't manipulate the sub-counts as well as you can, so guess what? You just auto-win the match because your team outright has more synergy than any other. So I guess the implication here, and even what he's saying is he only has one team, correct, technically, at least if you're gonna, run the most broken team. But he's always had that. To drop a unit from top 3, where I think, realistically, the impact of these units has not been anything profound. MUI is good, but is he making Daima 4 Ku shiver in his boots? Not in my opinion. Majin Buu, not really at all. Like, there's no anti-Daima mechanics to these units. So, like, yeah, MUI is great. I'm not going to talk about Evo because he's not going to be anywhere. These are top. But nothing here that dropped in this new units batch has impacted Daima. So with that, I don't know how Ku can drop. Because again, yes, he's only on one team, but he's always been on one team. He's never been on multiple teams. So him dropping when there's no impact toward him negatively, I can't speak. Negatively, fuck, I'm an idiot. I don't understand that drop, though. Beast, I understand more so. The nice play that he can do of, like, sniping, MUI Goku is pretty cool and neat and all, but Movies is just a little bit worse than, like, a Sun Fam / Saiyan team right now, and there you could kind of comprehend a drop, but Daima, too much synergy is going to trump anything that exists in this game right now. It's still trumping everything. It's not... There's no contest to Daima as a best gun to my head. It's Daima. There's nothing. I'm not going to be like, oh, boy, UMV, Godku, and MUI is right there. No, gun to my head, pull the trigger if you lie, pooh! That's because I said fucking UMV, Godku, MUI. All right? Daima will be the answer. It's the outright answer. There's no change in that answer.
Previous list when Daima was the best team in the game. Now there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of factors in the game, and
so
with him only being on that team, you're not really
Daima down.
You could leader slot him, but it's like, I don't know, man. We do have a little bit of, protection against his debuffs with the new characters, but it's nothing too
significant. If you still can get UMV, Super Saiyan Vegeta, you can still get disrupt. He offers great support. Is an anomaly.
He juices up the Super Saiyan 4 and the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta for one of the best teams in the game. So he does have that spot warranted. Great damage, great overall character. However, he's on one team. Not too much versatility to him.
More like a piece of shit.
That's just how it is. Beast Gohan, he's just got it still. So the snipe mechanic with this special beam cannon is really keeping him afloat. He's got some really high damage potential as well. Great team diversity. So whether you want to run him on Movies, I think Movies is still one of the best teams in the game. So
actually, Beast I went build Blast Base. He has Cuphead on strikes.
You're gonna have Turles as the third.
But
great composition right there.
But Beast no.
This guy has the Gauge, which is a great rush protection. So one of the things from Cell, so if you're, running into a Cell, at least you can swap with Beast Gohan.
Cell can just two-card him, but,
ultimately he has that guaranteed protection if you utilize it correctly.
I get it,
But it's really just a snipe play, so if you, have him on late game, you can pick and choose a character.
So Beast, I'm understandable, so I'm just going to skip forward to it. But Majin Buu and Cell, I'm definitely not on the same
He is also a great complement for MUI, so if you want to run something like this,
for Majin
Vegeta, the Majin Vegeta is and tag-wise. And Evo Vegeta. This one is crazy.
That says 5'6". I thought that said 15, 16. I mean, Kid Goku, that's a little slanderous, but Evo, it's not. Listen, fuck Evo. I use him on his best team. He didn't do fucking... Like, he looked like a 70% complete unit. Yeah, I need a 100% complete unit when I'm using a character when they're glazed, right? Like, please, for the love of God. Kid Goku, like, I'm fine with Kid Goku being top 10. I have him top 10 on the lower end, to be fair, but here, I mean, what's he got to do? He's indestructible, okay burst, and a better color than Gohan Trunks, which aren't here. That's about all I got for Kid Goku. And now Evo, let me just hear this out because I have a lot of angry and slanderous things to say about Evo. If I can get them out here, woohoo!
Because I'm seeing Evo Vegeta just being a little bit downplayed, and it's completely understandable, right? There's a couple of instances where I've seen some inconsistencies with him, and especially in his blue card. There's a lot of moments where the blue card just does not deal the work. Obviously, he's a character that you want to get to level 3 gauge as soon as possible. So anything before level 3, you know, he's on his way up. But at
the issue with that, you want to get a level 3. That is true. That is correct. That is fucking fact. The issue with that statement is it's going to be tough. You know, if I'm fighting Daima, then Majin Buu's coming in, and he's going to destroy my hand 2 times, and they're going to increase the card cost, and they're going to steal my card that I need, and they're have Vegeta destroy 2 cards, and they're going to have Majin Buu paralyze me, and they're going to have Tamagami seal my greens, and they're going to have my main sealed. Do you see, this isn't even like the new units, this is just Daima. Do you see how many flaws I just pointed out that Vegeta has to deal with, and how many things he can't get around? That's a lot, right? So that, in turn, hurts him getting to level 3. People aren't comparing it to Evo Ken, which is shocking to me. Evo Ken is the same goddamn thing. Evo Ken, early game, was nothing outlandishly wild. They were okay. They were fine. I remember it was Evo Ken, Jiren Zenkai. This is all before Ultra UI. And, you know, MVP. And funny enough, it was MVP back then as well. And that trio was good. It was, you know, one of the better teams. It wasn't the best because Red Beast could just one-shot your Evo Ken. But it was still a very good team. But again, the flaw with Evo Ken was... Well, if I don't have a green card, my cover is gone. Well, Vegeta, if I don't have a little bit of goodness and good RNG and good timing pacing and all that, I'm really screwed. But nowadays, it's a lot tougher to do that because of all these broken mechanics. Again, within Daima, you have MUI, he's going to increase your card cost. You have God Goku destroy some cards. You have UMV, who has the blast gauge counter. You have Mini Coos with his 50% disrupt. Kion Khalifa 50% disrupt. You have Ultra Beast with his big card cost upping. Like, again, getting level 3 gauge is the ambition, but there's so many factors that just say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, to Evo, and it's like, I don't think he's underrated at that point, or underestimated, whatever he said here. I just think, what are we doing? Like, what am I doing with you, Evo? I can't do what you want to do, Evo. Like, the game isn't letting me. These units that exist prior to you, and even with you, for God's sake, because 2 of these units disrupt them, even Evo himself destroys 2 cards when you fight one. Like, the game doesn't let me do this with ease with you. Like, MUI, you click 6 cards, you get 40% damage inflicted forever. Sounds really good, right? I mean, sounds good enough. A lot of people don't even do the 6 cards even, just because MUI is so broken in MUI state, individually. But with Evo, I gotta work my ass off just to get a unit that's not even half as good as MUI, and it's like, what the fuck am I going to use this guy for? He's kind of just a piece of shit. Then he has a lot worse teams, and it's all downhill with this character. There's no uphill with him. Bad color, bad everything. No cancel buff effect. Like, there's nothing I can just, like, be like, yeah, that's positive. Bro, he has to get level 3 gauge to have endurance null on his blue. You know what MUI has to do? He has to transform to MUI. Like, come on. Like, 5 is incredibly high. Like, this is the highest I've seen Evo Vegeta ever put on a tier list yet. And that is really, really high.
Level 3, he becomes kind of that train. He just keeps going. It's really easy to fill
he
up his
can't
gauge
do well
because
level
it's
3.
Moving. while he's on the field.
Yes.
It's increasing. You're also
But
charging, which makes
so
it go faster. The
long.
gauge, or the green card, excuse me, makes it go faster. And every single card you click makes it go faster. So that's constant cover nullification. You nullify endurance on your blue card as well. So at level 3, units like MUI Goku, or these things cannot be canceled. That is the specific detail for it. It's a blue card that or nullifies endurance, and that can't be canceled. So you're sniping units with that ability right there. He's got a lot of important partners to also protect him. So say if you're, Majin Vegeta and you want to snipe him, if you have a unit like Kaba on the sideline, he cancels buff effects. That is the one reason that Kaba...
True, Kaba can help him, but let me give you a theoretical that's also possible. I go to UMV, I pop your endurance with UMV pseudo lock, and then after that is when I ultimate. UMV is killing. Funny enough, even worse for Evo is he heals 10% when there's a big move done against him. MUI heals 20. Why is this the case? I don't know. But he does. So if I were to just go to UMV and pop the first life with normal cards, because I know what Kaba does, because again, that's the only reason you ever run Kaba, to help Evo, that whole point falls apart. Because sure, I don't get to snipe with no brain cells. I get to do 2 strikes and then snipe you. I mean, yes, Kaba does help him. Does Kaba stop Evo from being UMV's little bitch? No. No, not at all. Not even close. Matter of fact, you could just snipe Kaba himself, because he's canceling buff effects when he's on standby. So for you to get like a UMV green card done, you're neutral now. Strike, ultimate, kill Kaba. I mean, what do you stop? How do you stop that? What do you do in there? You're dead, right? Kaba's dead. Vegeta safety. Oh no, where'd it go? Like, see what I mean? Like, yeah, technically, that's the impression of Kaba. That's the premise of Kaba, to save his best buddy Evo. He doesn't. He doesn't. Not at all.
That's a really good feat about him. It's one of the main things about him. And MVP 17, this is a popular team right here. So lowering the damage you're taking from the ultimate, canceling the buff effects.
And
this guy is very star dependent. So I've realized that most people will not appreciate him until that higher star threshold. Even then, the blue card is a little bit questionable, but then again, it has to be level 3 gauge, and I would
agree with the star thing, because I also spend money on this game. Obviously, I have every Ultra 14, and that's on intent and on purpose, because Ultras usually rule the game, and it's just fun to 14 star the funny Ultra, right? I have a 7-star Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and I have a 6-star Diamond 4Q, because I didn't give a shit enough to summon more, and, well, they both didn't treat me very well in the banners. But the point to this is, you don't need these units high stars for them to be top tier. I, right now, acknowledge, very simply, that Super Saiyan Vegeta can do a better setting of what he wants to do than Evo, without a shadow of a doubt. Maybe I thought it was a little closer, but now after using him, shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt, much better. My Diamond 4Q, again, is 6 stars. People like to say, oh, you need high stars. Oh, you beat a 6-star one. It doesn't matter. You beat a low-star Diamond 4Q. Mine is that low star. Mine is that guy. And I could have Diamond 4Q in the top 2 talkings. Right? So I don't think the stars really, for transforming units, it's a little bit different. But let's compare, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. If you had a low-star Super Saiyan 3 Goku transforming one for Legends Fest, you could still decimate everybody's life. Because the whole point was just the infinite. With Evo, he's not necessarily bursting you too overpoweredly fast. So that's not it. Matter of fact, I would say MUI is more impactful to have high stars, because how much his stats matter and how much his per strike damage is. Evo may be at level 3 gauge, but again, the whole beginning point was how easy it's to get level 3 gauge. It's very difficult. So stars, yes, they matter, but if I also use a unit that people are comparing him to, and I have that unit the same stars as Evo, because they're both 7-star for me, Super Saiyan 3 and Evo, I mean, yes, they matter, but it's not as impactful as, oh, if I had a 14-star Evo, he's going to be top 5 for me, top 7. No, he wouldn't. He might be more arguable, as like a 9-10. That's about the highest I go.
I think he is extremely star dependent. Lower stars, in general, his overall blast damage is extremely competent. He has so many different tags, so he complements well with, even despite being a blast-oriented unit, I do think he matches up with Goku really good. So whether that's on God Key, whether that's on Universe
Bro, they have like 30k stat gap between the two.
These team compositions that would be featured on together.
Also, Vegeta has less stats on blast. Goku has 300k plus. Vegeta has like 290.
Universe rep. You could do androids or Vegeta specifically. I'm thinking other builds. Vegeta clan's also really good, so any comp with Majin Vegeta is going to be fantastic. Really just universe reps. This is what I've been running personally, so MVP lead. I'm able to send kind of any MVP and have Vegeta.
Bro, look at the yellows and greens. Just look at the yellows and greens on this list. Like, you see them, right? Like, this is just food, this team.
God Key, there's just a lot of options that you can run as well. So yeah, Vegeta should be pretty high on the list. I think he becomes super bulky. With higher stars, he's able to obviously deal much more damage, but he becomes a monster. There's just some units that aren't the same at lower stars, and he is one of them, unfortunately. So I've peeped that. I used him at 4, 5, 6 stars, and I was extremely impressed. Now I have him at red 4
units
stars,
like
and
stars.
This guy is a different unit. I'm
most
telling you guys,
don't need them.
I have him at that 5 marker. Kid Goku, he's the one unit in the game with guaranteed protection that's relevant to be ran on right now. I mean, you got Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but he needs to be on Daima, so this guy does not have a prerequisite. His damage ceiling is extremely high with his double gauge, so as long as you're able to fill that up, his general damage inflicted, good cover nullification, good vanish restore. Safety. All his damage, his blue cards, his strikes are hidden, his teams are hidden. So Sun Family Saiyans on Proud. I think Saiyans is the strongest team right now. So I'm having a Proud team that looks like this.
I still say Daima
is going to be very disgusting. So if you have something like this, you could have Vegeta on the team. I personally have Super Saiyan.
Again, I don't play Proud, but I'm looking at this here. I mean, this is just more so. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I don't play Proud.
For Goku, so it's really just Majin Vegeta on Sun Family.
I don't think this to me doesn't look like it's better than Daima. This team I'm looking at right here, I think Daima's still better.
You guys, I'm telling y'all, it might be worth the testament right there. But let me do this. Let me fix back the list, so I'm not getting it all over the place right there. But yeah, Saiyans is obviously really good, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, this guy just plays a really fantastic role outside of DB. I mean, he's not even having his peak equips, which would be on DB. So we got 3, 4 here. I'm going to be placing God Goku at number 4 and Majin Vegeta at number 3. It's crazy to see how well this Majin...
all right. Interesting. God Goku 4. It's higher than I'd have him. I don't think I glaze God Goku. I think I respect God Goku to put him as best green in the game. Obviously, he does here as well. I'm quite frazzled, actually, by the premise that Miniku is not in the top 10. I definitely think Miniku's better than Killing Caulifla. Definitely think he's at least on par with Super Saiyan Vegeta. I mean, if we're going to talk about teams, you really want to, slander Cell, you could fucking say that as well. Miniku just has to be top 10 for me. I don't know. That's odd. That's just odd. But whatever. God Goku UMV. Again, UMV I would have higher. UMV is the best answer that you have to Daima. While he is not the perfect answer, there is no perfect answer to Daima. He is the best because the pseudo lock into the snipe. Again, most people would say Daima's best team in the game. So having someone that can do that does help. Once Daima does lose a character, which is very fucking difficult, but once they do lose a character, guess what? The team crumbles, the sub counter are a lot easier to deal with, and the infinite swapping, infinite healing is a lot less pungent. So UMV having that capability, as well as being good against even the new units, that's just too much going on there for me not to have him top 2, but it is what it is. And God Goku, again, I respect this unit very highly, but number 4, see, this is where I'd have like Ku or Cell 4 or 5 for me. I mean, I like him being the best green here. I'm not, opposed to it, but I mean, like number 4 for God Goku just seems higher than necessary, I guess is the wording, because he does have a lot of roles, he does fill a lot of gaps, but 4 just feels like it's too high of a number for this character to me. I don't know how else to explain that. I would just rather somebody that has a more fulfilled team, and if I'm thinking about a more fulfilled team, I'm thinking of Ku at this point, so I'd rather have Ku up there again. Ku being, it says 7-8. I mean, that's just outrageously low to me. Again, only one team, but that one team is the best team. But, okay, let's just go to here, and he has, obviously, these two at number 1/2.
It's the same thing for God Goku. I didn't mention anything about him, but his
MUI
immunities,
one.
AoE green, easy
I
time
assume
neutral.
they're tied, that means they're interchangeable.
AoE, his team comps. Oh, his team comps. Oh my god, it's the best team in the game. Best team in the game right here. So Sun Family Saiyans, you throw Majin Vegeta on leader role, something like...
Whoa. No, it's not. I promise, it's not. No. Like, listen, trust me, I ran that team. 14-star MU, I got 14-star of that entire roster he just put out there. UMV Goku, MUI. I have it. I got it full whaled, so there's no, like, star talk here. Got it fully done. Hell no. Hell no. Even my Daima, which has the lower stars of both the LFs with Majin Buu, I think easily outclasses it because the gimmicks, the cheese, the team harmony. Like, yes, UMV Goku and MUI is a very good trio because their individuality is so strong. I mean, look at it. It's a top 1, top 3, and a top 4 character all together. No shit, you're going to think it's very strong, which you're right to think. But then you look at harmony within a team, and not many teams actually have as harmonious setting as Daima has had, just in the past of Legends' entire history. But that's exactly it. The harmony of Daima overpowers, I guess you could say, the individual goodness of that team there. Bar none. Again, the infinite swapping, the infinite healing, the infinite disrupt, the infinite cheese, the infinite Dragon Ball destruction, the infinite card destruction, the infinite doing whatever you want is much more easy for Daima than it is for any other roster. So to say that this team, while it is one of the better teams, and I'm sure you could say it's in top 2 team, maybe top 3, the UMV, Goku, and MUI team, though you're a little less susceptible to saving your MUI because Beast would save him better, but obviously UMV, again, most part does do his role technically better than Beast. It's just not as harmonious, and the harmony, again, that's just the best word I can use, is way too high within Daima for it not to be the best. It just is. And maybe it's the new unit syndrome where it's like, well, these guys all float together, so this all works, and this is blah, blah, blah. Sure, they can work together because they're all individually good, but nothing in, UMV's kit is accelerating God Goku. Nothing in MUI's kit is accelerating UMV, and, or further on and on and on and on. But with Daima 4 Ku is accelerating Ku. Ku is accelerating the entire roster. Super Saiyan Vegeta is being that burster, as well as with the bursting, accelerating the others, because he's doing his job of getting them down fast. Okay, they don't get to heal because maybe a blue card happened, health store debuff happens, or he does so much bursting damage that you get Ku to get a paralyzed. They're so low, you get a paralyzed, you get a faint, whatever happens, boom, you get a snipe out because you got Vegeta to get them that low. The harmony within Ku, getting that paralyzed, now they can't swap, now their health store is fucked, now their health is low, they lose a character. Once you lose a character in this game, it is very hard for you to win this game. With any unit in the game, MUI, I guess, makes it a little bit more challenging to close out a match. But even then, most likely you will win if you're up like in a 2v1, or you're in 3v2, and then from there on you get to a 2v2. But now they're a little bit lower than you in health, so you just get a free snipe out right there. The whole point being, the harmony of Daima is way too powerful. So while I think UMV, Goku, and MUI, again, I ran it, I wasn't even going to title it best team in the game because I don't think it is, and I didn't, because it's not. I don't think there's any
that's just any
contention with that.
Party. These guys are just ruling the game right now, which is why this guy's so high, which is why this guy's still able to be so high. Despite being blast, he's just a combo machine, so it doesn't even matter. You're just dealing combos at the end of the day.
Definitely does matter.
And I think he can get better as more blast-oriented units do release. But Saiyans are running the game, hence why Ku is just lower, hence why Daima is kind of checked right now. So let's place these guys back at their respective locations. I don't get mixed up. Yes, Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku, obviously still a beast.
Okay.
Great last man Saiyan.
I don't agree with those takes, but it is what it is. Obviously, I'm not going to agree with the entire list. I assume people want me to react to this because they thought it wasn't good, which, like, it's a tier list. I don't know what good counts as, because people like to say, like, this list is great, this list is bad, and it's like, it's a tier list. Like, I guess there's lists that are better than others because you have more experience and you have more understanding of what's going on within the units and what they do in the current era of where they're being ranked. But, like, I don't think any list is particularly, like, shit. Like, oh my god, you're just a moron. Unless it's like, you put the Buu duo in top 3 and it's like, okay, they're just being a fucking moron on purpose, right? It's not like, you know, no list is bad that's actually like within competency of what you'd understand is the top tiers, right? So I guess people thought this list was bad. I mean, I disagree with stuff more heavily than I have with other tier lists, but I understand some things here. I think there's a perspective to understand some of these things. I don't think it's inherently bad. Do I think it's inherently great? No. I think obviously my list is pretty good because it's my own fucking list, but I don't know. It more is that 5-6 area that gives me a gripe. I can ignore the cell thing because people like to value the team. See, this is the thing that always trips me up. People love to value teams when it matters, specifically to a unit that's individually amazing. So like Cell, people will say and harp on his team so much. But then when it's like, I don't know, Evo here, we're going to kind of ignore that and gas up his peak potential instead of talk about his teams. Do you see how it's kind of, I don't know what the word is, but it kind of just doesn't, I'm going to use the word harmony a million times in this video. It doesn't harmonize because one character you're valuing this more than the other, but then this character you're valuing this more than the other. You're supposed to value, at least the intent of tier list, is you value their team 50%, you value it individually 50%, then you clash it to where, okay, if Cell is such an individual god, then maybe he'll be higher than, let's say, the likes of, you know, MVP 17. Well, MVP does not have amazing teams. He is worked individually, so you would have Cell above MVP. Just obviously as an example that is common sense. But how high do you value individuality depends on the unit. Cell's individuality, if I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 yellows here, and I'm seeing a lot of endurance units that he can just kill, I see MUI, Godku, Evo, UMV. That's 4 different endurance units that I can just kill with Cell by just blast. And I just put a leader slot with him, and then he's golden. Well, I'd value Cell much more than that, right? So I could ignore that because I can understand it personally. Coup, whatever, sure, I think he should be a little higher, but whatever. It's just that 5-6 that trips me up because I know Kid Goku's not that valuable. I know Evo for damn sure isn't that valuable, but what do you guys think of my reaction to Vergils' top 10 best units Dragon Ball Legends 7th Anniversary Edition? I'll see you guys in the next one.